Greetings and hope you're well. As you know, my most recent book, Self-Reflections, How Our Inner Game Creates Our Outer Game, been out for a few months. And I've been asked to expand a bit on some of the themes in the book. Basically, the book supposes that our inner game creates our outer game. And if you're not happy with your present situation, look for the solution inside. Most of us don't want to look inside. We want to look outside. We want to be distracted. However, distractions are not the solutions. They make sure that the same situation will persist and continue. In other words, our default mind, our habitual mind, our reactive mind, our superficial mind, that is in operation most of the times, creates default, reactive, superficial emotions, which lead to reactive, impulsive actions, and the outcome is reactive, unfulfilled results. If you're not happy with the results, start with the source. So let's see if we can do that today. And in a series of videos that is to come, based on the book. The book is Self-Reflections, How Your Inner Game Creates Your Outer Game. It's available on Amazon if you're interested. So most of us live unfulfilled lives because we are operating from the default mind rather than the intentional mind. There is a great difference, and the purpose of the book and these videos are to help you make that transition from default operation to intentional operation. Majority of the people, as per research, live in default mind, hence inauthentic, unfulfilled lives. A few make the transition to the intentional mind. Therefore, they are the self-author of their lives. More fulfillment, more happiness. Let's start with the first story in the book. The story is metaphoric, so please read between the lines with me. The first story in the book is The Blind and the Lame. The blind and the lame. So in the story it says, one day a blind man trips over a lame man lying on the jungle floor. And then they start a conversation. So who is the blind in here? And who is the lame? And what is the jungle? All right, so stick with me. So the blind man says, as long as I can remember, I've been lost in this jungle and can't see my way through. The lame man responds, as long as I can remember, I've been stuck on the jungle floor and can't walk my way through. In other words, the blind, the lame, and the jungle is about us. When we blindly react to situations and life, the outcome is paralysis. We can't sort out our way through the jungle of life. Our life becomes darker, enclosed, and we are lost. Repeating the same thoughts, same emotions, same reactions, same outcomes. Again and again and again. So, the lame man has an insight, and he says, you carry me on your shoulders and walk us through while I guide the way. So now the situation is changing. What is happening is an insight begins to change the circumstances. So basically the story says, action without vision, reacting and reacting, leads only to aimless wandering around in the jungle, while vision without action is a mere fantasy. So basically, the book, the first reading in the book, suggests to find our way out of the jungle, out of the reactive life, inauthentic life, mundane life. We need to bring vision and action together. When we have a purpose in life and we act upon it, we pursue that, the outcome will be totally, completely different. That's the shift that we're talking about. That's moving from the default into intentional mind. Upgrade your operating system, your mind basically, from default to intentional, and the results will be completely different. I mean, look at your life. You upgrade your mobile operating system, your computer's operating system regularly. But what about this operating system that everything depends upon it? Everything we do in life, our work, our relationship, our health, our finances, all and all depends on our mind. So what about upgrading our mind from default to intentional? Now, in the book also asks you reflective questions. What else might the jungle mean? Where else are we lost? My bias is we are lost in the jungle of thoughts, default thoughts. You know that jungle, right? One thought after the next thought, after the next thought, same emotions, after the next emotion, after the next, and the same unfulfilled life. Therefore, we start from within. Our inner game creates our outer game. Then the next question is, all right, so having a purpose and vision radically and committing to that, right, radically shifts our lives. How am I going to get my vision and purpose? Where do I start? So hang on until the next, till the next video. Perhaps we're going to explore next how to come up with our purpose and vision for life, a purpose and vision that is authentic, that matters to us, right? And has the potential to radically transform our lives, move us out of the jungle to the opening. And what happens when we leave the jungle behind and enter the opening? Creativity, insights, motivation, energy, fulfillment is to follow. Hope this video finds you well, and see you on the next one. Bye.